Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have a very special guest, Eric Martinez. He's an actor, director, producer, and activist. So welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll dive in. The first question I have for you, Eric, is what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Best story from my life that has an underlying man. There's so many. That's exactly why I'm writing a book. I have a book coming out that I'm currently finishing up on called Relentless, and it's about my life story. And the underlining story of it is the underlining message of that is to just never give up. Never give up, no matter how bad things seem to get or how bad life currently is. You just never give up.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Just I would say to have patience, have faith. It's a tough business, and be resilient, be thick-skinned, learn to accept the answer no, and just keep moving beyond it. Because this is a business that's very, very tricky. It plays a lot of tricks on you. If you actually get to see any level of success, it's also a business that can make you feel like you're invincible and then bring you all the way back down to earth very quickly. So.
And the next question might kind of tie in, but what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
My best overall business advice would be to really do your due diligence. Really do your due diligence on the field of expertise that you're trying to go after, and make sure you know everything about your field business. And again, just be patient. You can't expect to be successful overnight. Get ready for the long haul. Be ready for the journey, not the race.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I could give my younger self a lot of pieces of advice, but probably the biggest piece of advice I would give my younger self is to just enjoy the process a lot more. Not be so serious. Not be so serious about the path. I feel like I caused myself a lot of unnecessary stress because I was always wanting the quick fix. I always wanted things to happen so quickly that if they didn't happen, I would get upset over it. And I would just tell my younger self, just to have a lot more patience and to enjoy the process.
And in your opinion, and again, this could tie in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
In my opinion, the key to happiness is having a strong relationship with the Lord, putting God first, making sure He's at the center of all your decisions, making sure that your faith has you have strength in your faith, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that will never ever waver. It's the only thing that will never get pulled out from under you.
And what's the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
One of the best books I've read recently is Devon Franklin's 10 Hollywood Commandments, and it's just an amazing book. It just talks about all the principles of being in this entertainment business and the principles that you should apply to yourself as an individual, and how you should apply that to the principles of business, and to just, again, making sure that you are always doing the right thing, and don't let the process of this industry suck you in and make you something that you're not. It's a great book. It's probably one of the best books I've read actually in the last 5 years, to be honest with you.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
Well, one of my favorite quotes is, "Do today what others won't, so you can do tomorrow what others can't." And it's just because I feel like there's so many people out there who they say they want success, they say they want, to live a different life, and they want to go after their goals, but not a lot of people will work for them. And if you want to achieve your goals and you want to reach your goals, it takes an everyday effort, every single day. And the biggest thing that it's hard for me to deal with is when I hear people complain about their current situations in life or work or whatever, yet they're not willing to do anything to change those situations. So every time I get the chance, that's one of my favorite quotes, and I tell people that all the time. You do today what others won't, so you can do tomorrow what others can. If you want the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of, then you got to put in the work.
Yes, and thank you so much for coming on, man. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
The best place, probably the best place is my website, which is www.IamEricMartinez.com. IamEricMartinez.com. And then you can find me on Instagram at emartinez6670 and on Twitter at @TheRealEricM. But if you go to my website, there's all the links to all my social media pages there anyway. So it's IamEricMartinez.com.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much again for coming on. We appreciate it.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.